This is Miami All Access.
Welcome into our first edition of This Week in Miami Golf for the spring of 2015. Steve Baker and head coach Zach Zedrick here, and getting ready to get started here. The Earl Yestingsmeyer Match Play event down in Dade City, Florida, coming up over the weekend, the 9th and 10th. Tell us first about the winter. Obviously, kind of mild. Maybe got some work in.
Yeah, so the winter here was pretty good overall. Obviously, the last couple of weeks have been a little scrappy. It's an interesting time for us because really our guys are gone from mid-December till, for the most part, into January. We had a few guys that were here for January term, but and sometimes I've gone back and forth on, do I want to bring them in early and maybe we do a couple of off-season weeks, because technically, based on the number of practice and competition days we have, we don't start our full in-season practice until the same day school starts. So, but for our guys, a lot of them, they either live somewhere warm or they go somewhere warm for anywhere from one. We had one guy that was down in Florida for almost a month. So, as far as guys physically being ready to go, it's as ready as any team I've coached since I've been here has ever been. So, and the guys are pretty fired up. This is an event they love. It's a match play event. I know you'll mention that, but it's it's more of a head-to-head kind of mano-a-mano format, and the guys really kind of relish in that. So we're looking forward to it.
It's a Mid-American Conference event, so you're going against teams in the conference, and probably the only event all year where you do go head-to-head against the teams from the conference.
Yeah, and so there are going to be 4 other MAC schools there, and then 2 other schools, Seton Hall and Dayton, that are kind of coming out of the same weather as us, and we got Florida Atlantic, which is a local team playing. But it's good to see conference opponents. We don't see them too terribly often just because of the nature of college golf scheduling. There's a lot of freedom in how you schedule. So it's always good, if you get 1 or 2 chances a year where you can see a handful of MAC schools. It's fun and the guys enjoy it. And, for us and, personally, playing Ohio in the first round and obviously that rivalry, we don't have to go into detail about that for everyone, but it's, the guys aren't taking that lightly. Right. They want to be ready to go on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm. Talk about starting off the season with a match play event. Obviously, everybody else stroke play, and talk about the difference in that and how you prepare for that, I guess.
Well, if you think about it, our typical stroke play format, it's 5 count 4. Mm-hmm. So really, every shot matters. So if a guy, let's say we've got 3 guys in, they have all shot 72. And we've got a guy that has just come in and he shot 78. And we've got another guy coming down the stretch and he's on 18. It's his last hole. He's even par. If he makes a par, he shoots 72. He makes a 7. He's cost the team 3 shots. In match play, he goes and makes a 7. It's just 1 hole, and there's kind of a psychological element to that too. You make a 7 or an 8 or double or bogey or whatever in the middle of a round. It could have a tendency to affect you a little more, as opposed to maybe you hit one out of bounds, and the guy is obviously going to win the hole, and it's like, what? Worst case scenario, I just lost 1 hole. Like, I can get that back, and so it's. And from a psychological standpoint, it's a little easier on the mind, especially early in the year. If no matter what physical preparation we do, it's been we're sneaking up on 4 months since our last tournament. So we all know how different it is once you got the pencil and the scorecard in your pocket and the results are going up on a board. That changes things. So no matter what, it's going to be difficult. But it being kind of, I just need to beat this guy, and if I play my game, maybe I mess up here or there. At worst case scenario, like I said, it's just 1 hole. So and it's just kind of a fun format. All these other sports, a lot of it's just head-to-head. Maybe it's team head-to-head, like in, it's basketball, you got 5 guys on the floor at the same time. But even an individual sport like tennis, you're playing an opponent. For us, we're playing the golf course. We see other teams, a lot of tournaments, there's anywhere from 12 to 18 teams in an event, and yes, our score is we're comparing ourselves to their performance, but at the end of the day, we're really just trying to play the best of our capabilities and make good decisions against the golf course. Mm-hmm. So it's fun for our guys. They're really competitive to be able to go out and kind of go head to head against someone else. It's fun because, you know, most of these guys have played other sports growing up, and they kind of relish that, and it's nice to kind of remember what that's like. So
that's coming up next week, or the 9th and 10th, the Earl Yestingmeyer Match Play event. Give us a quick preview. I know you spend a lot of time in the South in February and March.
Yeah, you gotta try and find warm weather when you can. So we'll be so after this weekend, after this tournament, we're going to be not competing for about a month, and then we've got three tournaments right in a row, and we'll be at Colleton River, kind of down in the Bluffton, Hilton Head area. Michigan State's event. Been there in the past. It's hosting the U.S. Junior Am this summer. So great golf course. And then the following week we'll be down in Naples at Tallis Park, Ball State's event, a really fantastic field, a handful of teams in the top 25, and some MAC schools on really a golf course that, from a conditioning standpoint, is right up there with any golf course in the country. So that'd be fun for our guys. And then the following week, we'll be down at Kings Mill. Huge event, 27, 28 teams playing. A golf course that's hosted a PGA Tour event, so good experience for our guys and during our spring break. So, we'll be playing a lot of golf that week. And then, but then April, you kind of got to get back up here and get used to Midwestern golf and the elements, because that's what we could see, at MAC Championship, and then, moving on into the postseason. So we'll be at Indiana early April, and then a really, really strong field on a golf course that's hosted the national championship at Purdue the following week, and then that first weekend in May, MAC Championship up near Cleveland. So.
Very good. Well, it looks to be an exciting season. This is the first of many times we'll be talking over the next couple of months. Good luck down in Florida this weekend.
Thanks, Bake.
Zach Zedrick, and that is This Week in Miami Golf.